Okay, everybody. Next video. Next video I'm going to go ahead and do is going to be judgment within the LGBT community. So, what I think about this, I honestly think that there should be no judgment in general. There's only one person that can judge us, and that is God or the Lord, so to speak. So, I think it's even worse that we have judgment within our own community because we all want to be looked at in the same light as heterosexual or straight people, but we can't even agree upon what's going on within our own community. So, how can we expect for heterosexuals to look at us in the same light as them when we can't even do so ourselves? Tiara was actually talking about this a little bit on her video as well, but as far as for myself, as far as the stuff is stud or femme for femme or whatever, it doesn't bother me at all. I say, like Tiara said, we're all women. Our clothes don't make us. So who cares if a stud is attracted to another stud? Because that's mostly the major issue within the community. A lot of people don't like the stud on stud because they look at it as two guys, so to speak, or whatever you want to call it. But I feel like femme on femme is a lot more acceptable than stud on stud, which is kind of the same thing that heterosexual people do. You'll see a lot of heterosexual men and women that would prefer to see two femmes together versus two studs or a stud and a femme or two guys. Um, so within the community itself, I would say that femme on femme is more acceptable as far as heterosexual. Now within our community, it's starting to get to the point to where it's more acceptable to have a stud and a femme, and it's starting to get to that point to where it's like if you're not stud and femme, or even with gays as well, if it's not a feminine man and a masculine man, then it's wrong. When in reality, it's all the same. I look at it as, if you're attracted to women, then you're attracted to women. If you're attracted to men, you're attracted to men. What difference does it make what they have on? When you're behind closed doors, and if you guys are intimate in any kind of way, clothes don't matter. What matters is what's underneath those clothes. So to all those people who are like, oh well, I don't like stud on stud or I don't like femme on femme, that's fine because that's what you believe in. We're all entitled to have our own opinion on how we feel about something. But if you do feel that way, I don't think you should portray it in a negative light. You can even tell people, no, I don't like it, because I'm just not into that. I'd rather have a stud or a femme, or I'd rather have, a guy that's like me or not like me, whatever. You're entitled to feel the way you want to feel, but to portray it in a negative light and then expect heterosexual people to look at us in the same light as themselves, you're being a hypocrite. You're doing exactly what they're doing to us. You're belittling the people within the community because of something that you don't like or something that you don't agree upon. Um, I really honestly wish all of the judgment within the LGBT community can be taken away, because once we can all unite and everyone can get along, then we can make that step to crossing over and also having the heterosexuals look at us in the same light. But for them to look at us and see that there's still basically hate or disapproval within our own community, what makes them want to say, hey, maybe we should give them a chance? No, because they still see that even within ours, there's still some form of judgment going on, and we can't even be okay with what we do within our own community. So they look at it as, well, if they can't even agree upon it, why should we? So I really just feel like there shouldn't really be any judgment. I know that there's going to be judgment in general just because that's just, how people are now. That's how the world is. So we can't get rid of all of it. But day by day, we can actually work towards um, getting that out of this community and then working on, getting it to the heterosexuals. With Sidology 101, they're actually working on bridging the gap right now, and it's working. It's moving. The movement is moving, but I just honestly think maybe you should take a step back and look at yourself, before you can step to a heterosexual and say, why do you look at me in this light? Look at yourself. Why do you dislike stud on stud? Why do you dislike femme on femme? Why do you dislike, two feminine males or two masculine males together? Why? Maybe you're not into that, but why is it such a problem when you see a stud who is attracted to another stud or a femme that's attracted to only femmes? So why is that a problem? Maybe you should look at yourself and look at what you're portraying before you expect someone else, gay or straight, to look at you the way you want to be looked at. So, as far as I'm concerned, none of it bothers me. I don't even have anything against heterosexual people. Um, I don't prefer it, but hey, if that's what you like and that's what makes you happy, then why not? I don't look at it in any type of way. I don't down heterosexual people like, oh my gosh, that's so gross. And if someone might come to me and say, how do you feel about it? Because you never had it. Because just like Tiara, I'm considered to be a gold star lesbian because I've never been penetrated by a guy. And people always say, well, you've never been with a guy, so how do you know that you don't like it? That's true. I've never been with a guy, but I've never been attracted to a guy either. And I don't feel like I should be forced to do something that I don't feel right doing. So to me, being with a guy or having sex with a guy is not gonna it's not gonna do anything for me because it's something I don't really want to do. So I don't judge people upon it, just like people who are straight and they say that, oh, being a lesbian or being gay or bisexual or transgender is so disgusting and I would never do it and this and that. And a lot of those people have actually behind closed door done it. They just don't want to admit that they've done it because they're afraid to be classified as gay or bisexual for trying something to see how they like it. There's a lot of people out there who are still in the closet or behind closed doors who don't want anyone to know that they have done that or even experienced it because they're afraid of the judgment that they're portraying. So I think everybody should take a step back and look at it because a lot of those people, straight and gay, have tried, the opposite sex. And it might not have been what they wanted, but they're afraid to step out and say that they've at least tried it because they're so afraid of the judgment within the community in general and within the world. So I think everybody should take a look at what they're doing and think about it before they say something and see why they're being treated the way that they're being treated. So that's my outlook on judgment within the LGBT community and in general. I think everybody should love everyone no matter what. So that's my outlook on it. Might disagree, might agree, but that's just how I feel about it. So of course, you guys can check out Tiara's outlook on it as well. And if you guys have anything to say, go ahead and leave us a comment. Rate and subscribe what you guys think. All right, guys. Have a good night.